Hello friends, so today videos will be an important one. Today we'll be discussing about what basically are LLMs, agents and agent AI. So this session is all about to get the difference between agents and agentic AI. So broader there are three things. So one is LLM, we have agents which we call them AI agents, and then we have agentic AI. This is the word everyone is now talking about, and we really don't know what's the difference between agents and agentic AI. Now, let us break it into what are LLMs. LLMs are basically generative AI. These are used for generative AI. We know, like Chat GPT. What it does, basically, it has gathered all the data, and now when you ask a question, it gives the data out of it. So this is an LLM. You give a query and it give an output in terms of an answer. So this is only the scope of LLM. Now what are agents? So agents are basically trained to do a specific work. Let's understand you want to order a pizza. Let's take this flow. So if you give this to a LLM, let's say Chat GPT. So what it will give? It will give you steps. Let's say open website, select pizza, and so on, and how to click an order. So this is only the scope of LLM. But if we give the same command, order pizza, to the AI agent, so what this AI agent will do, basically it will go to the website. So it will go to the website and it will search the nearest restaurant which orders pizza. Then it will select a pizza for you, and then it will add the quantity, address details. It will add the address details, and then it will click on an order and place an order, maybe an order by cash. So this is an ADA. So AI agents are basically a piece of code which a human will do. What this term agent is saying here, so any activity which you are doing, if we try to automate that with an AI or a computer system, so basically that is a AI agent, as the term speaking AI and agent. Let's say I want to book a website. So if I automate that process using an AI, that if I just give a prompt that book a cab for me, so currently if you give it to an LLM, it will give you the steps. But if you give it to the AI agent, it will open the app, it will select a time slot, the best suitable time slot, and it will book a cab. How the agents work? So this is a client, let's say this is a human, and you give a prompt. So you give a prompt to an agent. So agent will talk to the LLM. So let's say you have given order a pizza. So it will talk to an LLM, and NLM will generate the steps which we told before. What are LLM goods for? So basically it understands the problems and it will generate the steps. That for example, you need to visit website, then you need to select pizza, then you need to add to cart, and then you need to, let's say, add address and make a payment. So LLM will break this step. Now what it will do, LLM will send each step back. First it will send this step, visit a website. So this agent is trained on ordering a pizza. So what it will go, it will go and open a website. Then NLM will, if first executes, will send a next command here, select the pizza. So our agent is trained how to select a pizza, it will select a pizza. So how this agent knows all that stuff? Because agent is trained on that stuff. Agent knows what my current location is, what is the nearest address of pizza near me. It knows my habits, that which pizza I like to eat from my account, the type of pizzas previously I have ordered. Because this is the agent, on the basis of this client, it knows my pattern and it will perform the task. So whatever the task which a human will perform, so now this agent can do that work. So that is an AI agent. Now then, what are agentic AI? Everyone is talking about agentic AI. How it is different from agents? So agentic AI, you can say it is a much powerful of agents. There is also a term comes like multi AI agents. Let's consider the same example of, let's say, ordering pizza. Let's say if I have a agentic AI here, not AI agent. So how it will work? I am a client. I will just say order a pizza to a agentic AI, not the agent. I will send it to the agentic AI and it will talk to a LLM. As we discussed before, this it will be the same and it will generate the steps and it can communicate back to agentic AI. Now agentic AI, you can say it is a type of multi-agents. For example, this multi-agent is built up of many agents. Agent 1 plus agent 2 plus agent 3, etc. So n number of agents. So this multi-agents, what we call them, it is a agentic AI. Now in terms of ordering pizza, if I just say order a pizza, before, if we are working with agent AI, so we need to give a detailed prompt like order a pizza, a margherita pizza of medium size. We need to give a complete prompt. But in terms of agentic AI, if we just say order a pizza, how this will work? This will first communicate with my location. So it will check my device, what is my current location. So it will work with an agent, maybe a device or browser, and it will detect my location. Then what it will do? It will then check which is nearest to it. And so let's say there are nearest Domino's, Docima, we have Pizza Hut. So there are multiple near to me. Let's say there are 3 near to me. So what it will say, it will visit my history, past experience, that which I love most. It will go to the review ratings of the online which I love the most. So it will talk to an agent. Now let's say I am in a office, then it will there will be another agent which can check my calendar. I have set an order and let's say I am getting free after 1 hour from the meeting. It knows that if I order now and pizza comes in 30 minutes, so there wouldn't be any use. Order 30 minutes later. So it will talk to a separate agent who has an access to my calendar and it will give the time when to order a pizza. What it will do? It will then search the web. Are there any coupons available so that I can make a cheap purchase? Similarly, it can visit my doctor application. It will check, do I have any allergies? Let's say if it is using nuts or something else. So it can check my health application if I do have allergies, because if I've just given the same plain context, order a pizza. His action item to check that, because it is ordering on the fly, which is the best. So it is just checking that if it is correct for the user or not. So when we talk about agentic AIs, so basically they can think. So it basically includes 3 things: initiate, it plans, and it's execute. And how it is different from agent AI? It just executes. This is agent or this is agentic AI. So you give an item to an agentic AI, it thinks what to do, it prepares, it steps, then it executes, then it may need to think again and need to plan it again, because you have a goal. In agentic AI, if you give a prompt to it, it is a goal for it, it needs to achieve. In terms of agent, it is a task. You have given a task to book an application, it will do that. But let's say in agentic AI, if you give something, it will consider it as itself that it is a goal for it, and it needs to achieve that. Just consider again a new example to give you better context. So let's say if I'm talking about agent, I need to book a tickets. So what agent can do? It can book it, right, as per your condition. Like you have mentioned, it should be a cheap flight. In agents, you need to specify the date, on which date I need to apply. Let's say XX date. It can be booked by cash. And when we talk about agentic, what it will first do, it will check my calendar if I am free or not. It will go to the weather API. It will just not only find the cheap one, it will go to the weather API, let's say AccuWeather or something. It will check that how it is the weather the day I will travel, if it's not raining or something or snowing that day. It will check the politics or the current news. Let's say I'm want to go to a Paris on that day, right? It will check there is no fights or a sector of bomb blast, maybe something like that. So it will check that. It will check my previous sections. Do I book economy or others class, right? It will check that. It can also make connect to my banks to check if I do have sufficient account or not. So there are different agents for that, and I will be connecting with them. So their agentic AI is as powerful as number of agents connected, and it can think as well. So I am not telling this agentic AI to connect to a calendar or genetic AI. How this agentic work? It has a goal. It is trained that we need to achieve a goal, and to achieve that goal, it will itself think what it good, and it needs to verify and it perform all the tasks. In terms of agent, there is a task and it needs to do. So this is how it is different from agents and agentic AI. Now everyone wants agentic AI. It is much and much more powerful than the agents. Now let's take some examples which will help you understand better. We all know what are chatbots. This was in market in since last few years, right? The AI chatbots. So these are basically the agents. They only know how to interact with customer on some problems, and it will give the solutions to that. But if, like say, if you want to ask some questions or XY questions or give us solutions or do perform an activity, let's say if you ask the chatbot and it finds a solution, and for which the user credit back needs to be done or something else need to be done, so these are they cannot do it because they cannot interact with other systems. So because these are agents, these are not agentic agents, they can do what they are trained for. Similarly, we do have some applications, let's say planner.ai. As it says, build, personalize and optimize your itineraries with a free AI trip planner. So this is an agent. So this is an agent, not an agentic, because we talked about in terms of agentic, you need to add many features. You need to set a goal. If I just said create a new trip and I just say that I want to visit Paris, do a bookings, it won't work like that. You need to give actions, and it is restricted to some areas. So it is an agent AI. We already understand chatbots. ChatGPT is also an agent. It is not an agentic AI because it has a task. What is the task? You give a query, it give you an output. It cannot do a number of things itself. Let's say if I ask him that I am feeling pain and it is an emergency, so it will give you the task to do it. It won't say that okay, let me make a 911 call and let me just ask the ambulance to come in or give and send an SOS. It won't do. It will give you a series of steps. So it is also an agent. It is not an agentic AI. So these are some examples of agents. Now what are agentic? Let me just open Devin AI. There is news everywhere. that we are building a agent workforce. What it is basically this. Devin, for an example, the AI software engineer. Let's see its capabilities, what it can see. They have mentioned here application development. They can verify front end bugs, edge cases, they can do unit testing, E2E testing, build SaaS integrations. They can automate on call responses, ticket resolution, CI CD outage. So, you see, there are different tools they need to connect to do a perform this activity. See how a typically workforce use case look like. It can integrate to Slack, Linear, and Jira. If you mention anything on Slack, it will identify what it needs to do and it will do that. It can interact with Jira. It can plan what it needs to do. It can test what it is developed. It can even raise the PRs and send it to the Git. So it is not doing a particular problem. You are not just saying that connect to the Slack and give me what is the latest tag mentioned for me. So that comes the part of agents. Basically, agents are trained for an activity. But here you are seeing it is connecting with multiple agents to do a goal. Let's say solve a latest bug which is raised. So first it will go to the Jira, it will search the Jira, identify the latest bug, then it will went to the code, fix it, then it will went to the test, then it will test it, maybe it may automate, do an automation for that, right? It will create a PR, send for PR review and get it merged and create a documentation for it, update the Jira ticket for it, and it's done. So it has a goal. It will do again and again to make sure that goal is achieved. So this is agentic AI. Another example, browser use. So this is a browser AI agent. This is also an agentic AI, comes under agentic AI. So people are using this very differently, that how what we call them agents and what we call them agentic AI. But it has been the case, some of the tools and websites which have been agents before have now developed themselves into an agentic AI. But the people don't understand that normally, and they just call them themselves agents. So it is the area and the scope of work they can do. We can relate them agents and agentic AI. This is very important for the people for the technical background. If you're not from the technical background, it is good for say that we will be using agents. But from you, if you're from a technical background, you should know what is an agentic AI and AI agents, right? Especially for software testers, they should know what the capabilities are. Everyone is talking about that we need to leverage more and more AI into our work. So you should know what is an agentic AI, which tools are agentic AI, what actions it can do. So again, back coming to this browser use. So it can do any work related to the browser. In our previous case, so they have done flight search, right? If you want to, let's say want to go to the Paris, just say it here that I want to go to a Paris next week. Search me the cheapest flight from Delhi. It will work on its own and find your cheapest website. So if the scope of the work is browser, it can do any stuff. That is the browser agents. There is a very good agentic model which is Lovable. The name itself is Lovable and definitely you will love this. So Lovable is used to create apps and websites by chatting with AI. It is a very powerful tool. If I just say it, create a website for my courses, I teach teaching. So what it will do, it will go first prepare the designs, right? Then write the code, then will write the APIs, then will test it and deploy it. So it will do an end-to-end development for me. It may connect with n number of tools and agents, and it has a goal. It's a very beautiful thing that when we are working with agents and you do a something, right? Say I said develop this code, it will generate a code. But when will you talk with agentic AI and you have not specifically mentioned do a testing, it will test the code. Because for that agentic AI, its goal is to develop something, and to develop something, the goal is that it should be properly working, so it will test the code. Similarly, this Lovable, just try it out. It is a very good agentic AI which will help you to get the analysis, basically what is agentic and how it is work. You will love this. go deeper in these tools, you will just, what as a software tester, right, or an IT guy, like what would be the role in my future? And that definitely to come in your mind. You are seeing here there are tools, agentic AI models who are developing its code in its own, testing it and all that stuff. But please mark my words, as more and more you go into the AI, if you are 50% into AI, you will be scared from AI. And when you went deep into the AI 100%, you will know that yes, it won't be a replaceable job. There would be a human interaction will always be there. Yes, but definitely you have to onboard on yourself to AI. If you are not doing that, that definitely there is a risk. Because these tools, these agentic AIs will be coming everywhere. There would be new roles coming it. There would be, we will be needing a persons. Like these are agentic AI models, but there would be a persons to interact with them. The answers they are giving, the solutions they are giving, there would be a person to make sure that it is correct. Agents, so they are not fully autonomous, they do a task. And when we say agentic AI, it is fully autonomous. So this is a scary thing because it has a goal. You give a prompt and then it works it that it is a goal for it. As per its capability, it will do everything to make sure that goal is achieved. So that's the difference between agents and agentic AI. Now let's take a use case how the agentic AI works in software testing. Let's say I am a tester and I have given a prompt, write test cases for this Jira story. So I will pass this to an agentic AI. It will talk to an LLM. LLM will give the steps and they will be mutually talking to each other. Now, what could be the stages? First, my agentic AI will visit my other stories. It will connect to Jira, right? First to read and understand this. And again, it will also read Jira to identify the all the Jira items for this project to understand what this story is speaking about. It will interact with the learning system, all the docs, etc., which are for your project. So it will interact with that, maybe in shared location or something, to get the context the system is all about. It will connect to your, let's say, Zephyr or any other test management tool to get the context what test cases are available now. And similarly it can connect on other items, and then it will create tests. It can also maybe visit the application, all that stuff. So we are not talking there n number of things it can interact with. Then it will create the test. It will also tell that these x number of texts won't be valid now, not valid now, because it has referred to your test management tool. It knows what the past test cases are created. If it was an agent, so what it could do, like if you went to a chat GPT, let's say people are giving their stories to chat GPT, and what chat GPT is generating, it is generating the test cases, but you need to work on this. But in case of agentic AI, it will be having the complete knowledge of your workspace, your project, what past test cases you have done, whatsoever. It may be even execute those test cases, generate a report and attach report that back to the story. It can itself do all this stuff. So that is genetic AI. Very powerful, very good. And that's how you make a difference between agents and agentic AI. Agentic AI has a goal and it needs to do that. It is a multiple AI agents. It connects with multiple agents. It plan it, it re-execute so that that goal is achieved. In terms of agent, agent is an activity which a human being is doing. So we automate it using an AI. That is an agent. Agentic AI, it is the goal to achieve. So I think that's all for this session and we are able to clear our doubts. Thank you all.